Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I'm Hope Acosta. Welcome back to Even Otter Podcast. Idiocracy tells the story of average man Joe Bowers, who wakes up 500 years into the future to find a society where intelligence has drastically declined, leaving him the smartest person alive. Joe, now tasked with solving the world's biggest problems, must navigate a chaotic, absurdly dysfunctional world in a desperate attempt to make things better and make his way back home. Idiocracy is still a little ways away from celebrating its 20th anniversary, but seeing its 2005 setting 20 years later was super surreal.
God damn, shit's changed in a year.
It was a rewatch for me, but a necessary one. So, let's get into it. The casting for this movie is superb. Luke Wilson is the perfect everyman. I love the naivety that's included in his performance, from his character's non-questioning participation in the original experiment, his blind support of Rita's profession as an artist, to his relatable self-frustration because he really doesn't know how all this shit works either. He plays it all extremely well and, seemingly, with immense compassion. Maya Rudolph is the perfect female lead for this movie.
No notes. No notes. No notes.
And Dax Shepard is the ultimate degenerate as Frito. Frito, despite being a lawyer, isn't really one for words. His statements are often incomplete and instead come off as sudden realizations or exclamations of thought. Dax performs this as if it's been a part of his speech pattern his entire life. President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho is probably the most recognizable character from Idiocracy. And for good reason, because Terry Crews is one of the most spirited antagonists of all time.
I got a 3-point plan to fix everything.
The way writer and director Mike Judge was able to capture his 500 years into the future dystopia is an extremely memorable aspect of his storytelling. The mountains of trash leading to the trash avalanche that set off this story's events is a horrifying yet increasingly realistic depiction of our rampant consumerism and irresponsible waste management practices. The list of Judge's eerily accurate predictions of the future could quite possibly go on forever. But the ones that stood out the most visually to me was the constant branding of everything from their food to fashion, and the hauntingly big Costco, where you're somehow able to obtain a law degree. With Judge's screenplay full of critiques of early 2000s politics, values, and culture, it's hard not to acknowledge how certain ideas have panned out while watching in 2025.
But the English language had deteriorated into a hybrid of hillbilly, valley girl, inner city slang, and various crumbs.
While Idiocracy is problematic in its language, cynical execution, and its eugenics-like explanation of how humanity devolved, it's kind of supposed to be. And if you appreciate satire, I'm sure you'll find Idiocracy to be a brilliantly executed piece of sci-fi that, if anything, might challenge you to have more faith in humanity.
You think Einstein walked around thinking everyone was a bunch of dumb shits?
Idiocracy suffered in its initial release because Fox 20th Century, the studio that produced Idiocracy, and who is openly made fun of in the film, was worried that advertisers would not like their negative portrayals. As a result, Fox did little to market the movie and limited its theatrical release. But since then, Idiocracy has gained wide recognition for its poignant takes on contemporary culture.
And that's pretty good for an average guy.
Idiocracy gets an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's got a great cast, and its message is incredibly effective. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you want to stay up to date with when and what I'm posting next, click the bell or follow at Even Otter Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And until next time, keep wearing your Crocs.
Thank you, Velveeta.